So, what's up, guys? It's little old me. Malvern Kid, the M.V.K High Lord of New York. Got some thoughts. So stick around and listen, please. um, so from once again with the success of Deadpool, um, they've already been talking about who is going to appear in the sequel that's already announced. Uh, Cable, Nathaniel Summers. And I'm here to talk about Mr. Stephen Lang, who put out a tweet not too long ago, and he's flexing the guns right there, and he's like literally saying me for debt for Cable. And I put it, I even said it, you know what? I admire his interest. I admire his, he's actually wanting to play this character. Cable has been a character that we as fans have all said, we want to see someday live action, right? Am I wrong here to think that? I don't think so, but it's always been a question of how would they pull it off, who would play the character, and so far, the only man that's been stepping up to the plate to actually wants to play that character is Mr. Stephen Lang. I hope I'm saying his name right. Don't want to botch his name or anything like that. Um, but when I saw Avatar, I'm not the biggest Avatar fan. I don't really understand the hype about that movie, that series. It's just me. But when I saw him in that, I kind of saw Cable. I'm like, he's kind of big enough to play him. He looks around the same build in some way. Take off a lot of that, the shoulder pads and everything off of Cable. He's big, but he's not as like he's supposed. They make him to be. But I admire Mr. Lang for really coming out there and like, look, I want to play this role. And who knows? He could probably knock it out of the park. But of course, besides that, then you're starting to hear other people come around and saying, oh, this character could do it. And there are a couple of actors and even one former pro wrestler that people have said, and I'm gonna talk about those guys as well. So, well, I've heard several people say Mr. Adam Baldwin could play Mr. Nathan Summers. For those who don't know who Adam Baldwin is, he's not one of the Baldwin brothers. He's not related to Alex, Steven, Stephen, all those guys. No, he just has the same last name. You probably know him famous for more from, I first seen him is from Full Metal Jacket. But then most people know him probably from Firefly. And he was good in that. And, he's big, he's tall. But when I recently saw him, I was like, when he put on weight now. It's like, and I'm not saying that he can't lose it, but last time I saw him, he was in one of my favorite show, Law and Order SVU, for a couple episodes. He did a recurring role on there. He was the captain of the SVU squad for a while, and he was a little big. You could tell like he put on some weight in that. And Mr. Baldwin is what? I think he's not even 50 yet. I think he's in his late 40s. But you kind of want to go with somebody in that range, that kind of an actor in that range, even though we've never really known how old Cable. If anybody knows how old Cable is in the comics, let me know, because on the top of my head, I can't remember. But you want to go with somebody kind of that caliber. But then the other one, just really, I'm just like scratching my head because I'm like, really, like, the other one is Mr. Kevin Nash. Now, I'm a big wrestling fan. I know Kevin Nash, Big Daddy Cool, Diesel, Big Sexy, Wolfpack, all that. I'm big wrestling fan. And the movies that Kevin Nash has been in, from Super Shredder to The Russian in the 2004 Thomas Jane Punisher movie, which is still fucking underrated. It's a good movie. Um, from him playing Bass from that god awful uh, Dead or Alive movie to even being in the Adam Sandler remake of the Burt Reynolds uh, Longest Yard movie, which I admit he was pretty funny in that, and he was in the movie with Channing Tatum and Jada, with the male strippers and stuff like that. All right. However, though he was in those movies, no way. Sorry, I cannot see him playing a lead like this as Cable. Now, some people may say, "Oh, but they got Dave Bautista to play Drax for Guardians of the Galaxy." There's a difference between Dave Bautista and Kevin Nash. See, Drax. See, Dave worked his ass off for that role. And you can go back and listen to him talk about it. He worked his ass off for that role. And to the point of when he got the role, he broke down and cried. He worked his ass off to play that character. Studied it, read source material, things like that for that role. I have never seen anywhere that Kevin Nash has ever been really interested. Even that picture that I've seen people I believe that's a fake. I think that's a photo op because I've never seen Kevin Nash having even had any kind of clue of playing, you know, Cable. And of course, the other thing about it is because being that you damn well know this is going to be a physical role, Kevin Nash's, and this is something that non-wrestling fans don't know, Kevin Nash's knees are fucked up to the point where he's had 12 surgeries done on his knees alone. The professional wrestling business it's no joke. And for a big man like him, fall on his knees, that's the stress on the knees, people. And so I don't see him playing the role. Is he big? Yes. But no. Cable, now, as always, I'm open to somebody new to take up the role. Somebody who is not kind of big in the eyes as an actor. He had some kind of, but a fresh face. Who knows? But it's gonna be a trial to cast Cable. But once again, like I said, Mr. Lang, I give you the utmost admiration, sir, for your basically putting yourself out there. Like, hey, I want to be Cable. I'm ready to do it. That's like me coming out and saying that, basically going out, getting a wig that's like dreaded, having one of my aunts make a costume, and going out saying, "Hey, Warner Brothers, I can be your Static. Screw Jaden Smith. I can be Static. I know him better than Jaden. So it's like something like that. I probably could do a better Static than that guy. But uh, but on the topic at hand, I'm looking forward to seeing who they cast as Cable. I really am. Some of the fan casting are good. Two out of the three that I've seen, I'm cool with. And then there's the one that really is, I don't think Fox should do, is the one where they're saying gender swap Cable, because there's this photo op of Keira Knightley um, as Cable, and Fox, don't be dumb and gender swap Cable. Why? Would I mind it? Not too much. But you gender swap this character, and somebody was like, "Oh, but he's not that big of a name. We crazy?" I know exactly. People know him. People know Cable. If you and here's the reason why. If you have never read a comic before of Cable, but you watched that cartoon from the 90s, you know Cable. You know Cable. So think about it, you know. But other than that, guys, look, whoever they cast as Cable, I'll be all for it. Um, and let's go. Let's do it. But other than that, guys, that's my thoughts on the casting, the future casting for Cable. Uh, you guys tell me in the comment section below. What are your thoughts? As always, this is Mount Vernon Kid. Yeah, I'm M.V.K of New York. Peace and love. Stay tuned. Keep real, guys. As always, I'll catch you guys on the flip flop. I'm out.